You're a slut.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Bucket Brigade podcast. I am joined by my co-host, Wyatt and Theo. Today, we are talking about a very exciting topic. Not so very exciting, but very exciting, depending on the seat that you are in. Today, we are talking about our favorite horror games. I bet you didn't expect that, did you?
Subnautica.
For Theo, yes.
No, for what? For any of us, dude. That game's fucking terrifying.
Whoa. First off, Subnautica for me isn't terrifying.
I was petrified.
Aren't you guys excited?
Anytime you hear you are now entering it. I am excited because we are going to play that. But just hearing there are multiple Leviathan class-sized creatures. It's just going to be in the engines.
Listen.
With the fucking fire extinguisher.
I'll sit in your ship.
Cut off. We got to give a shout out to our non-sponsory Raid Shadow. No, I'm just kidding. Raid.
Stop.
It's a joke. All of it's a joke.
Bro, you fucking got me with that. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, wait, what?
It was a surprise to you as well.
Yeah, for real.
It'd be hilarious. I'm not even in charge of that aspect of our group dynamic.
It would be my surprise to you.
Yeah,
I was about to say we will become those people. We just don't know when.
Don't worry, Raid. I'll be sending you an email soon.
We're on our way.
Anyway,
today I am not drinking a rainstorm, and I bet you wonder why.
I do.
I am, though.
I have no actual reason. I just wanted a rain instead to give myself a little bit more of an edge. In today's episode, all about horror. Now, I bet you're sitting here wondering, horror. What's this all about? Theo, how about you take it away and kind of explain what the horror genre is?
Okay. I'm going to go on a lore dump here, so prepare yourself.
Okay.
Scary games.
The end.
That's all. I mean, what do you want me to explain?
Honestly, dude. Like,
horror games,
we're here
the subgenre.
To do just like our favorite horror games.
Fair, yeah.
One last thing. The bucket list isn't about, an actual bucket list. The bucket list is just stuff that we decided that we want to talk about or are interested in and stuff. Go check out our other episodes on Spotify, YouTube. Follow us on Twitch. Do all that good things. If you enjoyed this
episode.
Hit
the bell.
Hit the bell as well. Let us know that you like to get notified by us three that you've been, well, not by us three, but by YouTube, that you have, that we have uploaded such a wonderful and enjoyous episode just for you.
Damn right.
Damn straight.
Now let's get back to our sponsor, Raid Chat.
God damn it.
I'm joking. Anyways, back on topic, fellas.
I feel like, also, I was going to say, anyways, going back to the topic of horror games, I feel like there should be, like, some argumentative of, like, this isn't necessarily the horror that we think it is, but it's still a good game and it scares me. I feel like there should be some wiggle room there.
Fair enough.
I feel like there are so many things that can classify a horror game because there's horror survival,
dude,
horror action.
Grounded is terrifying. When you see those spiders, man.
There's a lot of things that that I feel like kind of can be kind of connected to horror. Is what I'm trying to get at.
Subnautica.
Yeah,
exactly. So what we're going to do, I'm just gonna throw this on you guys. We're gonna go to the top sellers of the horror genre in Steam. Right?
I love it.
We're gonna
I'm with
we're gonna do it. And at the very top of the fucking leaderboard
categories
is
horror.
Elden Ring. For top sellers
Is it
of horror,
what?
it's for top sellers
Get the fuck
of
out
the
of here.
horror genre. I wish I
I
was
don't even
joking.
believe you.
I wish I was joking. I wish I was joking.
No, it's even worse. It's Fallout 76.
No, not for me.
I'm looking at all items. I'm looking at horror, and top one is
I'm looking at top
Fallout
sellers.
76.
I'm looking at top sellers. Look at top sellers.
Okay. Where the fuck is that at?
Did you click on the
Popular titles?
Did you click
Souls-like?
Did you click
Oh,
on,
is it?
you should just
Yes.
scroll a little bit more down and it's top sellers. First one, Elden Ring. Now let's talk about Elden Ring, guys. Right? It's scary.
He's not wrong.
It's scary. It's scary. And the reason why it's scary is because you just get pushed in, you get pressured into making all these scary decisions that could either be good or bad. And, this could be classified as a horror game because there's a lot of horror elements into it. For example, in Ronnie's castle, right? You have all those wiggly hands there that come out of the ground and skeletons that are like, I'm gonna, you got all these elements that are embedded into horror, right?
Yeah, talking to a princess, it's terrifying.
It is, especially since she's like, isn't she like half dead? You're talking to a zombie, which is a horror element into things, into like certain games, certain games have that horror element of zombies and scariness and stuff. I wouldn't be surprised if Call of Duty Black Ops 2 or Black Ops 3 is on this list because of the zombies genre. But the next one,
you're not wrong. Call of Duty World War II is in fact on here.
You see?
Where?
I mean, but to be fair, that game could be scary to some people. That
one leaned into the horror factor.
Yeah.
And like the body mutilation stuff. But I'm gonna kind of rail this back to where we were going from. Not even rail back. It's just the fucking Elden Ring. But the number 2 is Dead by Daylight. It is probably one of my favorite co-op horror games. Only because of the people I played with. Yes, it gets repetitive and it can be a hard time getting to I don't know. Some killers are really relentless and other people are either feeling out the game, so you have a really easy game. And then there's a middle ground where it's you're fighting the whole time and you feel like you've earned the victory of escaping. But with the 3 other dudes that I played with this game made it so much fun. From being in the same room and playing with somebody to being thousands of miles apart. It just is so much fun and so many laughs in this game that I've had. To physically grabbing my friend because we're next to each other and I see Michael Myers in a corner ready to kill him. So I tell him, turn around. And he thought there was somebody in the room with us. And it's just a great game, in my opinion, just because of how the funny moments that can naturally occur with it make it that much more fun for me. I will cede my time.
Five Nights at Freddy's is a good solo horror game. And the reason why I'm bringing that up, right? Wyatt, first off, I want to say excellent. Dead by Daylight, excellent. Excellent, kind of bringing it in, all about friends and the power of teamwork and overcoming
No, dude, there's not even teamwork when it comes to that. When you're fucking working on a generator, when you're working on the generator and your friend blows the generator while you're working on it, and you're like, come on, man, get your shit together. Oh. And then it goes from that to, all right, the first one who moves is gay. And then you're all just working on the generator, watching the killer. One. It's 1000%. It was the English or Spanish before it even came along. It was we're all working on it, and it's all right, whoever moves is gay. So it just turns into one of us getting picked up by the killer.
I really enjoyed Dead by Daylight when I would play with friends, and of course it's a game that thrives off of playing with other people, having a group. but at the same time, it also kind of thrives off of, hey, you need that single person to play as the killer, right? So I think Dead by Daylight can be used uh, as a good multiplayer, but also as a good solo game. Since
Absolutely.
the soloness is you being the killer, you are inflicting the horror, right? I know there's
Mhm.
the Scream character, right? The Scream killer, right?
Ghostface.
Yeah, Ghostface. You can't hear him until like he's like up and moving, I think. So
It's
like
fucking terrifying. You don't. There's only like the only audio cue is like us, like it's like a violin or something like that, and it's when he's making line of sight with you, and it's one of his abilities. It it's fucking it's wild. To be fair, it is crazy.
you see, and yeah, so I just think it's a cool concept that you can kind of experience the horror or inflict horror when it comes to Dead by Daylight. Theo, have you played Dead by Daylight?
You know, I did early on when it like initially came out. Not, it wasn't my favorite to be honest. I don't know why I couldn't get into it. It's probably because
It's
Was it because of like? Was it because were you playing like with other people?
randos, never alone or never with a party, I should
wow.
say.
Okay, so
Hey man, we need to
completely
play.
different experience because it would be fucking hilarious. But okay, that being said, though, I want to hear what Theo has for one of his favorite horror games.
Ooh,
Outlast
all right.
Trials.
No, I want to know what scares Theo
Well, first
besides
of all,
Subnautica.
Is it Five
okay, never
Nights
mind.
and Freddy's Into the Pit?
Stop.
No, no,
What?
not at all.
Why is
It's just right there. It's just right there.
Fallout 76 is top 5? It's fucking stupid. Anyways,
Go on, Theo.
Let's see.
yes, please take the floor.
I have to say, I got two, and these are the scariest games I've ever played. The first one is called
Subnautica.
Absolov.
I'm just kidding.
No,
Just kidding.
Absolov End of Gods. It is a Norwegian horror game based on a future post Ragnarok. And the reason it's one of my favorite horror games is because it's one of those bad graphics horror games where the entire time you have to run and hide from everything, and there's so many creatures and humanoid like things in the dark, and it's so scary. But by the end of it, you start to grow as a character, and things in the game aren't as scary, and they don't hit the same. It's almost like you grow with your character while you play. And it's a pretty cool experience. I have to say, it's probably one of my more favorite, just in general, single player games. And I don't talk about it a lot, but it's really good. It's called Absolov End of Gods.
$19 on Steam.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Number two is Dead Space. I'm only going to say Dead Space because I played Dead Space the day it came out on accident. And I was a young boy, scarred. I was immediately scarred by these just destroying shit. I probably died just jump scare alone.
You what?
I said I died in that game to like just jump scare.
Oh,
alone.
okay. So you said that with a pause in between. I thought you were cutting out. I'm sorry.
Oh, no.
But yeah, I've played maybe 30 minutes of the first one, remastered. I knew what to expect, So I think once you know like what to expect from a game, it takes away from the horror elements, like Dead Space and other games like that. But it is just such a great experience to be playing those games for the first time and just having no knowledge of like there are no YouTube guides for this. There is just you're playing this so is everybody else in the world. So nobody knows what's going on.
Right.
And just like the raw reactions of it is awesome to me. So yeah, like playing Dead Space after the fact of like knowing what's going on definitely takes away from the horror aspect, but being like the top first, insane. I can absolutely understand why that's up there. For my single player horror game, Outlast. So I got into Outlast obviously when it first dropped. I think I was in middle school. Dude, that game scared the shit out of me. Everything in between that happens with that game, from 1 and 2, I don't think there's there's not a third one besides Outlast Trials. But 1 and 2 were phenomenally done and are just the amount of like deep lore in that game is insane. And once you start learning about it, it makes it that much better. And I really enjoy that about it, where it's like it's the amount of effort put into it, but not just the surface level. There's a deeper level of like psychological horror going on with all the criminals. Even in like Outlast Trials a little bit, you have to find like the nuggets of info and story, which I could see why some people don't find that appealing. But I also enjoy Outlast Trials. Angel, you look like you got something to say.
He's ready.
GTFO. I know that this is very kind of like, oh, you have a gun. Oh, you have like teammates that you can pew 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 with. I'm not gonna say Outlast
man.
As single because you know Wyatt already kind of went over it. I agree with Wyatt. I loved it. I remember this one. Hang on. I'm gonna say one quick story and then I'll go back to GTFO. I remember I was a youngster, little wee lad, right, in my cousin's house, right, sitting on a bar stool chair, right, looking at the TV, playing it for my very first time, right. You never guess what would scare me first. You know when you open up the very first door and the body swings at you? I screamed. I screamed.
Dude, that scares the shit out of everybody.
I know, but I mean, like, I screamed to where I put down the controller and I didn't play it until several years later, to where I actually played it and beat it. I screamed for like 30 to a minute, bro. And this is what my cousin was telling me. He could be wrong. He could be right. I believe him. Because I was like, I fell out of the chair. And like, it really felt like I cowered in like the corner, like I was like my life was in danger or something. Remember, I was a wee little lad.
Bitty.
How much of a lad? A wee one.
A wee lad. But GTFO, definitely. Probably one of my top favorites of like survival horror and like just strategy games that you kind of like you need to be in a crew to do. Like,
yeah, dude,
it's not possible with just two people. I feel like you need like a solid crew. You need a solid group that runs in. And if you do go in with two people, you're like stealthing.
Terrible.
You are 100% trying to stay stealthy, not like all the time, because you have to conserve your ammo for when you have to get through doors and all this other stuff. And it just sucks. It's a hard game. And I feel like that's what makes the scariness a little bit more real, because if you die or if you like scare something or not scare something, but trigger something, it's like the fear of, oh no, I'm about to spend another 30 to 40. Yeah, like I'm about to spend the next like 30 to 40 minutes either one trying to build myself back up, or 2, replaying this whole damn level again. And it's just, I love GTFO. GTFO was great. We should play it. I love it. But you know what else I really enjoyed as a horror game enthusiast? Panic Core. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
Dude.
We should definitely stream that game at some point so people can see
We did.
how bad it is.
We did.
Oh yeah, we did.
And-
We
I was about to
did.
say, Theo, we did.
I was there.
Awful.
I was present.
Yeah, we were drinking.
That's why.
We were.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was the first.
Coming off of Halo.
Yeah, we were coming off of Halo.
Still plans to play that, by the way.
We will
man.
finish the series.
Have you guys ever played Alien Isolation?
Yes.
No, but I've wanted to. But I get too scared to buy it because I'm like, I know I'd be such a bitch in this game.
It's such a good game because they really what's the term? They really really play the game. You know, like they really contribute to the factors of like being hunted by like an alien. Because in reality, that's what's happening on that ship. You're consistently being hunted. You have people that are like turning on each other to survive, and so on. And I just think,
Hell yeah.
it's a good the evil
That
within.
actually is a good one.
The Evil Within is a good psychological
played it.
horror. It's good psychological horror.
So that was one of the games I was debating about streaming on our Bucket Brigade channel, or maybe just on my personal. So because I love horror games, I love doing games like that. I've never played the Evil Within, the 2 games. I would like to stream all the Resident Evil games because those are also, I feel like, should also be thrown into this, like, because there's not a lot of games that make you afraid of zombies. Resident Evil really isn't one of those. It's what makes you afraid of variant zombies. Because when you see a fucking liquor on the roof of the ceiling, and you're like, I have like 6 bullets. What the fuck am I going to do against that? So you have to like, okay, I either have to run. Oh, time out. In Resident Evil 5, there is a part in the game where I'm pretty sure it's either 5 or 6, but there is a hallway of just liquors all across like the walls and the ceiling, and you have to like walk so carefully so you don't like alert any of them. And it is just such a stressful moment in that game. God, I don't.
Yeah,
the amount of
you missed
fear
an
that kicks in when that
opportunity.
happens.
You missed an opportune moment to say the walls and the ceilings.
Oh, just one ceiling.
Just the ones. Yep, just the ones.
And
R.I.P.
There's
Rooster
not.
Teeth.
fuck, dude, stop. Oh my god, don't make me sad right now. There was one more game that I saw that I think it was I can't think of it right now, but I'll say that my other one for multiplayer is
Listen,
Faz.
Escape the Back Rooms had one key moment to where it genuinely scared me. And it was when we were running down the hallway and something was just chasing you. And it just got faster and faster and faster and faster. And
stop, you're making me have chills.
I remember we were streaming it, and I remember I clenched. I was like, you know, like I felt like my body locked up because I was like, get away.
Yeah, fuck that, dude. God. Just the sound of it getting closer and closer. I tell people I hate that sound. The sound of like something like sprinting down a hallway or coming closer to you. Like in horror movies even. Like if that sound happens, I will physically like curl up into a ball because it scares the fuck out of me.
Listen, I looked up psychological horror because I just wanted to see what games were tagged as it.
Mm-hmm.
Getting Over It with Bennett Foddy. It's a psychological horror.
That makes sense.
In
I can
case,
see it.
if the viewers don't know what that is, it's a single player game that's all about climbing. Pretty much, you're trying to get to the highest point, but you're in a cauldron,
A cauldron.
and you have a hammer, and you have to use the hammer to scale pretty much upwards, and it's like really difficult. And the narrator, every time you fall or something, or like you lose progress, I don't want to say antagonizes you, but it feels like antagonizing.
He's inadvertently antagonizing you.
Yes. I don't really.
Sorry, I don't have so many because I was scarred at an early age.
I was scarred
Well, dude, that's why I was like, what's gonna scare Theo and Angel? Because when we played horror games, I'm the one who's doing all the fucking screaming. Also, I'm not like doctoring anything. I'm not like giving something more effort than it needs to be. I'm just a pussy when it comes to jump scares, and that shit gets me. Like it fucking gets me. What's
He's
another
scared
good,
of oh
like,
dear.
Yeah, oh dear, dude. When the fucking moon goes down and the deers come out, I shit myself a little.
Oh,
No,
well.
I think another good jump scary game was Phasmophobia.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of a better version of it. Well, I won't say even better. It's just a different version with like a better graphics, which is the Demonologist. Demonologist has a lot more jump scares.
I just want to interject real quick.
Go ahead.
On the psychological horror, Jujutsu Kaisen Curse Clash is on the list.
Oh my fuck.
But go on.
Nah, it's just Phasmophobia and Dead by Daylight are in the same category of fun for me, because when COVID first dropped, me and three of my like best friends, we all
Not
ended up
COVID dropping like it was a midnight release.
Yeah, dude. When COVID dropped, man, we were there at the midnight release at GameStop so we could buy it, so that we could then go home. And, yeah, we stood in line for it. No, we all got it because what the hell did we all do? I forget. I think it was there was a party somewhere that we all went to, and this isn't like a house party or anything like that. It was like a festival for like a town kind of, and so we all went to it, and then we all came back. And then 3 days later, we're like, hey, does everybody else feel terrible? And they're like, yeah, we should probably get tested. And we all had COVID. I ended up having to get a different room somewhere else so that I could be away from other people, healthy people, so that they wouldn't get it. So I just took a monitor, my PC, and I just set up shop in a hotel room for like a week. And I just stayed there. Oh yeah, spicy ramen too. That's what I ate to like clear my sinuses. It was after Angel showed me like the Shin ramen, I think, and like that's what I ate for 3 days straight.
Shout out to Shin Ramen, our latest sponsor.
Honestly,
yo, if we got sponsored, dude, I would be eating that right now, slurping that shit up like it's like
so
my life
good
essence.
Too.
Oh, I'm about to make some while we stream. I just want you guys to know. I'm gonna sit here. I'm going like, I'm dead, and I'm like,
just hear it in the background. So we probably put 100 hours into that game in 1 week, and it was before any of the stuff that's in there now dropped. So like, there wasn't any of the new upgrades. There wasn't the leveling system that there is now. It was before all of that. So we were just leveling up like crazy. We had money up the ass pretty much. Yeah, God, yeah. It was so much fun. Also, The Evil Within's on Steam, so I'm gonna buy, or is on sale for $4. So I'm gonna fucking buy that.
I have two games that for some odd reason I completely forgot about, and I feel like it's insulting not to mention this. Single player, Amnesia.
Yeah.
It was before my time.
Listen, I remember watching good old Markiplier playing the game when I was a young lad in high school or junior high, whatever I founded him or whatever.
Pause.
I didn't find him.
Let me take you a period before that. I remember watching PewDiePie play Amnesia on his YouTube channel before he was the #1 subscribed person on YouTube. God, I just dated myself. Fuck, I feel so old now.
Oh yeah.
My favorite things that he used to. My favorite. Oh, in case if the viewers don't know, we're all not the same. We're all not the same age.
Yeah, so let's say we're all different ages.
Yeah, Theo's the oldest. Wyatt's the second or the middle child, and I'm the youngest.
Yeah,
I'm young.
I remember when YouTube was around. We used to look our shit up on 4chan. I used to go on Ask Jeeves and type in help. And like not what you think would come up.
I used to love I used to love when PewDiePie used to do the Stefano and and the barrels stuff, and I thought it was
it was brain rot before brain rot was a thing.
Exactly. And then when Mark played, he had Tiny Box Tim. When he would play his like playthroughs and stuff, and I just genuinely enjoyed it. I remember still getting scared, or like that suspense feeling of when something's chasing you and you're being hunted. It's like it was such a good. Wait, hang on.
Because
one more. Choo Choo Charles. I think that's a funny. I think that's a funny horror game and stuff like that. It's just a like a spider-like train that's like just trying to to end your existence, but here you are on another train fending it off with a machine gun or like a flamethrower, and you're like, and it's so cool, but it's also scary because you're being hunted by a train, and you could tell he's getting closer because he's doing the choo choo, like some fucking like a train.
Well, trains do
the choo choo.
Do the choo choo.
They do the choo choo slide,
but not to be confused with the cha cha.
Right, that's entirely different.
That's completely different.
Go on, Wyatt.
Because you said things hunting you, it reminded me. Fuck, hold on. I have it. It's in my Steam library. Let me find it quick. I'm definitely vamping right now until I find it. It's the game with all the robots. And it's a survival game. I can't think of what the fuck it's called right now though.
Are you talking about the one that was shut down?
Wow, I would hope it's not. That would be terrible. Maybe. I just remember there was like 4 tiers of robots. There was like small ones, medium, and then there's just these.
Oh my goodness!
Generation Zero.
I think really shut down.
Wow, that'd be terrifying.
I think it is.
Not terrifying. That'd just be sad because I remember playing. It's not a horror game essentially, but dude, playing that and just seeing the big ass robot in the distance and being like,
yeah, that was
what the fuck, and then hearing the tone it would drop, like the like that kind of noise, exactly that noise too. And some of them would move fast as fuck, so you would just hear a tone while you're fighting and you're like, what the fuck's that sound? And this big ass 2-legged robot just runs up on you and you're like, Jesus. Especially at night when you definitely can't see them.
Facts. Another small one, not necessarily something that I played really even on at all, just stuff I've seen stuff on. The Mortuary Assistant.
That's another one that I want to buy because it looks so terrible. Would you want to do it like maybe a 3-player where one of us plays it and the other 2 are watching?
That's something that's never been off the table for us.
Yeah.
You heard it here first.
Another one.
We're probably gonna play that.
Another one.
Another one.
Is oddly enough, I'm gonna say this, and I know we're gonna get a reaction from Angel. Bloodborne. Bloodborne was a little scary, and it was because you were so quick. Because you could die at any moment.
I
just
really just enjoyed. I'm a Bloodborne fucking fanatic, bro.
I know. We know.
I'm still waiting for the remastered, even though it's possibly never going to come. I'm still waiting for the PC port, possibly still never going to come. Still waiting to get the update for 60 frames per second, still never going to come. Listen, I enjoyed the fact that Elden Ring got scarier. Things opened, like things were changing with the environment, the more insight that you gained. And it was cool because Lantern would have like eyeballs on it, and like you would be able to see like pretty much deities just on buildings, just sitting there. And it's cool. It was such a cool concept to me. And man, I played that game, and it took years for me to officially beat it, for me to officially 100% it. But man, I love that game. Oh, I want to play it now. But I've gotten to the point to where
I'll talk to you guys later.
He's like, you know what? Actually, we're cutting short. I gotta
go. It got to the point to where I love the game, but I just can't continue playing it. Like because I used to play it every year. Like every year I would do a complete new run. I would try new things. I would try to do a new character, new build, new X, Y, and Z, blah, blah, blah. But there's nothing else to do in it. I'm not a PvP person, so I don't get the enjoyment out of that. But man, I still love Bloodborne. Vested like over like 500 to 1,000 hours into that game alone.
Dude, a really good psychological horror game. I'm sorry, I just saw it on the top sold list. I've never played this, and I don't think any of us have. But I've watched Markiplier play it. It's called Soma.
Soma is. I played the demo.
Dude, that is such a good psychological horror game.
Yes, it is.
Not even.
You're at like the bottom of the ocean, aren't you? Or like you're in the sea. You're like.
Yeah. So essentially, what happens is the character. Spoiler alert, by the way. Skip like 5 minutes if you really don't want to hear this. Like you're essentially you're at the beginning of the game. You go in to get seen about like a brain tumor because like you get into a car accident off like before the game happens, and so you're getting seen about some like brain work you can have done, and so you get like your consciousness scanned essentially, and this is like the first time it's ever like happening, and so as soon as it happens, something lifts off the screen, or like no, the screen goes black, and the guy starts freaking out because he's like, "Hey man, what's going on?" And then his consciousness was put back into something else. And his brain, well, I should say his consciousness starts thinking that he's still himself. And so the entire thing is you're actually a robot the entire game when you think you're human. But his consciousness picked up where it left off, where it would have left off. So the entire thing for like the psychological horror aspect is, are we the skin? Are we the skin? Are we the body? Or are we our brain, the consciousness? Like, or is that us? Right. Because essentially in the end of the game, you send up a rocket into space with all these people on this thing that they call the Ark on their consciousness, and they send it into space so that like they can live on. But the main character is left on the planet. And he's upset because his other consciousness is up there while he was left in the ocean, essentially. So he feels like he was cheated and stuff like that.
He blows up the ship.
Nah, it's already launched, man. It's self-destruct. Oh shit! Why is that button here?
Listen.
Were you gonna say BioShock as well?
I was going to say BioShock. However, That's so funny you said that. Yes, I was 100% going to say BioShock because you're literally at the bottom of the ocean. In like 1 and 2, and the BioShock Infinite, right? That's the third one, right? I'm not dumb.
Yeah.
No, you're right.
And that one's
The
so
only one I
cool
played.
because the ending is such a twist and such a crazy thing that now
Another like psychological like fuck
Yeah.
with like something that fucked with your mind.
yeah, and it sticks with you, you know. But no,
Yo, that first one though.
I'm going to strictly say Slender.
Really?
Man, Slender the Arrival,
The
whatever.
8 pages.
Yeah, the 8 pages, whatever. I played that game when I was really young. I think I was, you know what? I played all these games when I was young. Anyways, a little wee lad. Slender the Arrival, I played on Xbox 360. And I played it by myself. I didn't have really guides or anything like that. And I played it because I was, I saw Markiplier play it, play the 8 pages and stuff. I was like, oh, this must be the game. This must be it, and I bought it and I was like, this isn't it at all. And I still played it, and I went through it, and it was like just amazing. You could tell that like something was following, like the first level or two, you know something's following you. Like you can feel it, you can see it, but you don't know what it is. And of course, this is where your character is kind of oblivious to it, but we as the player know what it is.
Which is
It's Slender. It's the Slender Man. It's him and his
The man.
long arms and the no face and the you're looking at him.
speaking of Slender Man. You guys haven't seen Longlit.
I haven't, but I keep
I want to
seeing
so
like
bad
shit
too.
about it all over TikTok, and I'm like, I have to see this movie.
It looks like it's gonna be good.
There is,
Unless everyone on TikTok's just hyping it up for no reason.
That's probably close.
They did that with
but
Barbarian, and I wanted to punch every content creator
Oh, dude.
for some reason.
Never watched it because I heard how shitty it was.
I don't think
really
I've
quick.
heard
I was the one that told you how bad it was.
Really quick. They're remaking an old game. I have it on my wish list, but they're remaking Silent Hill 2.
I saw that. Dude, I will be buying that immediately.
It looks so fucking good, dude.
I loved the old Silent Hill games.
I
were
never
like
got
that
to play
creepy.
them. Yeah, it looked terrifying. It's what the movies are based off of, for those who don't know. But the movies did not do it justice.
No, not at all. Especially that
opinion.
last one. The whole carousel, the girl
Yeah.
half evil.
We don't have to talk about it. It wasn't great. It wasn't great. I just remember. So when I was a wee lad, I would spend every other weekend with my mom. And I remember one night I got to my mom's house and they're watching Silent Hill. This is not our favorite horror movies, but anyways, I get there. It's the scene where Pyramid Head shows up, and I'm like,
Love it.
"What is this?" And they're like,
Who's
"Oh,
this
it's
guy?"
Silent Hill." And I'm like, "What am I watching?" And like it's like when he picks up the chick in front of the church and just grabs her skin and like rips her skin off. And I was like, "Oh, okay."
Well, I'm going to remember this for fucking ever.
Yeah. Literal core memory made at that moment because I was just like,
Wait,
Oh
is
my
Angel
God.
actively watching it?
I don't know what he's watching. He's definitely showing.
Bro. Ready or Not is a
I was
horror
about to
game.
say, nobody's fucking interrupting you.
No, Ready or Not is a horror game, right? And the reason why I'm bringing up Ready or Not is because I just looked that they have a DLC, Wyatt.
Nope. It's called Home Invaders.
Home Invasion.
Home Invasion, yeah.
And I didn't know, and I'm going to buy it, and I'm going to download it.
What?
Only if I play this and my PTSD triggers and I punch my monitor, you're buying my monitor.
That's fair. That's fine. I got my
Deal.
Anyways.
Was your home invaded?
Are you being invaded? Are we getting stream sniped?
Oh,
Are we getting swatted?
I was.
Oh my God.
What were we just talking about?
Guts from
Silent
Berserk.
Hill.
Silent Hill.
Oh,
Nuts from Burke.
something like that.
What is home invasion? What's the difference? Hold on, before we move away from this. Like, what the fuck's the difference between this and regular degular?
It's a DLC.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
It's
I
just,
thought,
it's
okay.
just more content.
Well, the way you said it, I thought it was like there was a horror element to it. And I was like, oh, what is it?
No.
Is it zombies?
No, I'm strictly talking about just Ready or Not itself, right? It is a scary situation that you're in, right? You're dealing with active shooters. You're dealing with possibly deranged people that have,
Dealing with your teammate opening up a door without checking to see if there's an explosion there, so he dies every fucking time to a C4 strapped to the bottom of a door. I wonder who that could have been.
Hey, Wyatt.
Oh, it wouldn't be me.
Wyatt, hey, you wanna bring this back to when you have died almost every single mission, and I've done every single mission by myself, and I've completed it almost every single time flawlessly. We'll just bring that back. Anyways,
Let me just dial that back, huh?
It was the one mission he's talking about, right? Is when you're in charge of kind of taking down some people. So you're in charge of taking down some people that
They're
have
like meth dealers.
Yeah, they're like meth dealers or something like that. They're doing bad things, and we're in charge of taking them down. So they're just kind of just in like a regular kind of like house that's kind of like in the middle of the woods, right? You go in, right? Possibly one's shooting at you, from the balcony, or maybe not, and you roll up. There's 3 entrances. Actually, there's multiple entrances. There's top floor, middle floor, and bottom floor. If you go to the bottom, 99% of the time, that thing is booby trapped. So
ready to blow,
just ready. And here I am. I'm going in. Bam! And I just get blown.
But the best part about that is you would use the fucking breach thing. You'd go, wham, boom! And I'm just like, what the fuck do I do now?
It's my favorite thing to do because I don't have to use my legs, so I feel like it takes less time. It's just a battering ram. You just go like, bam! And you just get blown up. And it's not like it changes, like the situations. I mean, they can, but they usually don't. So you always know in that level, you're going up against 3 people. They're like crazy. They're armed. They're dangerous. Every single one of them. So it's hard because they're usually 1 or 2 are always kind of together. And
unless you're better.
Yeah, unless you're just better, but I'm not. No. Which explains I'm going in, bam, and I just get blown up.
Boom.
Listen, Theo, Ready or Not is really fun. We have always enjoyed it, but it's usually always been just me and Wyatt that play it.
I'm always down to try something new. I will say this. Fatal Frame 2 Crimson Butterfly had to have been the weirdest psychological I ever tried.
Say that name for me one more time.
Wow.
Fatal Frame.
Fatal Frame 2?
That's the Game Grumps played it, remember? With it's like the camera one, right?
Yeah, it's a little older.
Remember the camera one, Wyatt? I know you remember.
Fatal Frame, what's it called? Butterfly?
Fatal Frame 2.
2. Oh, there it is. Oh, that's DLC.
Yo,
Nope.
Kind of forgot.
With the cameras?
Yeah, don't worry, I got you.
What are you talking about outside of Ready or Not?
before Ready or Not, we were talking about Silent Hill.
And then our favorite horror games.
Oh, dude, it was still. Hold on, that was still.
You know what? Favorite
I don't think I remember.
horror movie? As Above,
Ocean.
So Below.
Yo, actually,
Listen,
I'm so happy you
listen,
fucking said that.
bro.
I'm so happy
it's
you
such
said
a
that.
good psychological horror, bro.
That
It's-
is so
it's
crazy.
definition of psychological horror because things are haunting you. You are literally diving
Yes.
down into hell itself. Like you're descending into hell. You're descending into madness, and it's so good. It's such a good movie.
So for that, if we're gonna dive down this hole, we're going all in. For me, it's Hereditary. I think that psychologically would fuck up anybody. Not even the fact that the movie, like, it's a slow burn, obviously, but to be the kid that ends up like his sister, like ends up who's basically taking the entire burden of the mom who blames the kid for killing his sister. And just everything that leads up to the finale just creates anxiety. And the ending is just like, what the fuck is going on? And it's just, man, it's such a long build for such a good payoff to an ending nobody saw coming. Come on. There's maybe some may have saw coming. I don't want to say nobody saw this coming, but it was just such a moment of like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it really was. I'm happy you said it was scary, but those cult movies never scary. Like,
so it was just the feeling of unsettlingness leaving the movie theater. And I remember the drive home. I was with my buddy and his girlfriend does the in the car.
Oh my, yeah.
And I said, "You shut the fuck up right now."
You turn around like the car. You go in reverse.
I put her head out of the window. I rolled down the window and I said, "Put your head out the window. We're gonna get really close to a telephone pole."
A psychological horror for me, like a movie, like.
No, you already said yours.
I know, but one more.
I'm kidding.
I just want to do an honorable mention. Midsummer.
Never watched it.
It's
it's
straight.
Okay.
It's
that's a good one.
Straight culty. It's straight cult vibes, and everything that happens, like one of them gets like their skin gets cut off and hung up, and they're still alive.
Yeah,
that's like crazy to me, and like,
oh
man,
now I kind of want to watch this.
I did pretend they were Griffith though from Berserk, and I felt a lot better.
So, fun fact, with that being said, I've never watched any of the Saw movies because I couldn't get behind watching people being tortured, and I literally could do nothing about it. Like, for some reason, when I was younger, I had a huge issue with that. So if like somebody was going through something like that, I couldn't be in the room. I was like, I physically can't take this. Like, I'm leaving.
Shit, you would have hated me as a teenager.
He was just like, nah, man, it's just Griffith. It's fine.
Yeah, it's Griffith. I gotta say, my number one, my favorite horror movie that genuinely still scares me is The Descent.
Yeah, that's a good one. That is a good one. The fucking Descent. I just remember watching that and being like, I really don't ever want to spelunk now.
or go to sleep. Yeah, no, that, and I know they made a second one, and the second one wasn't as great.
Yeah, it wasn't as good.
It was still there. It was still there. The third one, however.
What?
Yeah, the third one. It's called like The Last Descent or something. Not as great. Not as great.
I could imagine. I'm still
cool concept.
I'm still scrolling through top sellers, by the way.
Fair enough.
I've seen some honorable mentions. I think I saw, hold on, where was it?
Any shark movie. Period.
Sharknado. I agree with you, man. Sharknado, I don't know what they were doing, but they brought some comedy with some horror aspect into it. You know, sharks, but
so
on
much.
land. I'm just joking.
That movie was scary.
I've never seen Sharknado.
Really?
He was actually petrified when he watched that. He said,
I should watch it. I should go watch it though. Oh man, I kind of don't know what else to kind of mention, to be honest with you. You think we should wrap it up here? We're at like 55 minutes ish.
We're at a good stopping part.
Yeah, because like we already went down a different rabbit hole besides like games. We've gone down movies.
Yeah, we hit everything.
There was a couple of other ones I wanted to mention, but I was like, I've never played them.
Honorable mentions. Go.
Well, it was like games from the 40K universe, but I was like, those aren't really that scary. Yeah, I was gonna say them. That's why I didn't, because I was like, they're not that like terrifying. To be fair,
Poltergeist.
That was the one that I was gonna say. What?
The movie Poltergeist.
Oh, god damn it! No, one of the games that I watched PewDiePie play that genuinely actually scared me was it was The Crooked Man. It was like a 16-bit game where it was like very pixelated, but there was a really good story there, and the entire story like creeped me out, dude. And like when you were hunted by the Crooked Man, it was a dude who basically looked like the bent neck lady.
Hell yeah.
If you know what that is, like, you understand what I'm saying.
And if you don't, Google is still a thing.
It's still a thing, yeah.
I'm on Google right now.
But yeah, that being said, man, that was another game that I watched and was like, what the fuck, dude? It was an intense watch. Because it was like actually like, what the fuck? There's a Band of the Hawk game? Sorry. Anyways, all right. Yeah, let's call it here, man. Because I think we're falling down different things here. Holy fuck! Why does this game look
Dragon Ball Sparkling Zero is a horror game.
Shut the fuck up.
I can't.
With that being said,
Dragon Ball Fighter Z, because it's a fucking nightmare playing against you. God, is it fun just beating the shit out of me every time?
Yes, and I do my best not to, and that's the crappiest thing to do to you.
Damn, he told you.
Anyways,
with that being said, thank you all for listening in into our wonderful podcast episode. Theo,
absolutely.
You got anything to say?
Thanks for tuning in. Come watch us again. Come see us do stuff. Whether it be the podcast, whether it be the stream, we really enjoyed having you. Make sure you give us that like and subscribe. Hit that bell too, so we can send you that notification whenever we do go live.
And it's going to be
and also
specifically sending you the notification.
Right. I'm going to get on my phone as soon as we go live, and I'm going to send to everybody. So make sure you hit that bell so you actually let me work. And, I actually, do my job. So thank you very much for tuning in today. It's been lovely. And as always, I bid you good night.
And if we don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good morning.
God damn it.
Right. That too. But if we do, hello.
Just end it. Just fucking
enough of those trolls. Leave us a like, follow, whatever. Say stuff that,
we already said it!
Stuff that Theo said. And we'll catch you in the next episode of the Bucket List or our stream or whatever. We'll see you when we see you. All right. Have a good one.